Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Boom Broadcasting presents Three from Deep. I am your host, Jason Colenso. Welcome to the show. As you can see, guys, I'm totally holiday vibing today, rocking the hat. I got my Christmas PJs on, so I'm definitely feeling the holiday season, and I'm wishing all of you a very happy, healthy, safe holiday season. Watch it out there. It is very busy. I do love this time of year. The hustle and bustle. Everything is busy. Stores. It can get a little hectic. So just remember, 'tis the season for holiday cheer. So pocket the aggression. We need more love in this world right now. Too much going on. Too much hate going on in the world. So let's spread some love, guys. And right now, I'm going to spread y'all some love with this NBA podcast here. So I appreciate you being here. We're going to talk a little bit about what happened last week. We're also going to dive into to dunk or not to dunk. That is the question. We're going to talk a little bit about what Ja said about not wanting to dunk anymore. Interesting. And then the king versus the cliff. LeBron James just had one of his worst shooting woes this past week, and coming up on his 40th birthday, is the king going to start bowing out pretty soon? That'll be interesting, and we'll talk a little bit about that today too. And then our little halftime, I like to kind of switch it up a little bit. I'm going to drop my top 5 holiday movies. This time of year, everybody has their favorites. They have the ones, they get the family together, they watch it every year religiously. So I'm going to drop my 5 top favorite holiday movies of all time. So be prepared for that. And then we'll go into, we got the Emirates Cup knockout rounds heating up this week. So we'll touch base on that and do a little preview on what is to come. So without further ado, I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you checking out Three from Deep. The biggest holiday gift you can give me is by liking, sharing. Send this out to 5-6 of your friends. Tell them to do the same. Spread the word about Boom Broadcasting, about some of the great things going on here, about some of the great podcasts we have going off in this on this YouTube channel here, Boom Broadcasting, the best up-and-coming podcast network on YouTube and social media. So you got to check us out, dude. If you don't get in now, you're going to be late to it, because you know what? It's not going to cost you anything. This is a free gift. So just share, like. There's no subscription. There's no nothing. Jump in. That's all we need from you. Just come in, make some comments, like and share, show us some love. So without further ado, let's jump into the news and notes from the week that was. First, we're going to start off with the question: can a player win the MVP on a losing squad? That's an interesting question. Nikola Jokic, Saturday night, drops his career high 56 points in a loss to the Wizards. That's terrible, because the Wizards are the worst team in the NBA right now. So the Nuggets, that does not look good on you. Joker has had some of his best statistics in his career this year. He is on fire, but the rest of the team is not playing with him. They got 11-10 record, 4-6 in the last 10, 9th in the West, and not looking very good. Does Joker deserve consideration for the MVP when his team is not doing very well? That's an interesting question. I want you to drop your comments, guys, because I think so. I mean, if you're the best guy on your team, sure. But with a lot of the other MVP performances going on out there with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Brunson in New York, my boy, Jason Tatum in Boston, so you've got some guys out there. Luka in Dallas playing out of their mind right now, thanks to Luka. So it'll be hard for Joker to get that MVP unless that team can turn around. But MVP watch, guys. Again, my crack production staff here with my graphics. So that's our graphics budget in a nutshell right there. But, Nikola Jokic, fantastic game. Great stats right now. On fire. Where's the rest of that Nuggets team, man? That West is deep and it's hard. And if you're ninth and falling backwards, that's not a good look. So be interesting to see what happens. We'll check that out next week to see if these Nuggets week to week can start to improve. So second thing we got to talk about here, the Orlando Magic. Man, cannot catch a break. Again, surprise team in the East. My pick for sleeper this year to make some power moves, to make some noise in the playoffs. Friday night, they lose their top scorer, Franz Wagner, to a torn right oblique. That's rough, man. That is rough. He is their leading scorer, 26 points a game, 6 rebounds, 6.3 assists. They were doing fantastic without Paolo Banchero, who is slated to hopefully come back here and then maybe in the next week or so. I know they're going to start looking at that here pretty soon. So to lose Franz like this, that hurts that Orlando team. They got a huge game coming up in the Emirates Cup, and we'll touch base on that here in a little bit. But third in the East, and again, the East is deep too. So for Orlando to lose Paulo and now Franz, it's going to be tough to come back from. So can them O-Town boys weather the storm? I don't know. That's going to be interesting to see what happens. So I'm going to give you a salute. And it's yes, I got my snowman mug, so don't hate. All right, what else we got going on? Friday night, Ice Tray in overtime hits the 3-point dagger with about 7 seconds to go against the Lakers. Hawks making some moves right now. 134-132 in overtime. Had 31 points. LeBron showed up in that game. Anthony Davis showed up in that game. Unfortunately, nobody else really did. And LeBron needed that game. He dropped 39, Davis 38. Both of those guys needed that game, but they needed to win it to play that well, especially the shooting woes of Mr. LeBron James. And again, we'll touch on that too. The shooting woes of Mr. LeBron James to drop 39 points. He really, really needed that. He has been struggling of late. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit too. And again, we keep talking about injuries, and I hate doing that. And I hate saying again, Brandon Ingram for the Pelicans, out indefinitely with a sprained ankle. Pelicans leading scorer. Lost to the Thunder, 119-109, averaging 23.2 points per game. No timetable for him to come back. No Zion. That Pelicans team, tons of young talent. We want to see them get there because we want to see Zion and what he could have been. But he looks like he is not going to really turn out to be the guy we thought he was going to be coming out of college here. I would be impressed to see if he can just last half a season. But he is unfortunately just injury prone. And we're seeing that a lot right now in the NBA. It's unfortunate because I love watching these teams at full strength. I love watching the talent, the athleticism of some of these players. And right now, it's not looking too good for some of these squads when their top guys keep going down. So we'll talk about those injuries, hopefully a little bit less here. So, because I don't like focusing on the negative, we're going to focus on some positive. But right now, we're going to jump into something interesting that happened this week. A little mental clarity. Ja Morant, in an interview, said he is not going to dunk anymore. Or try not to dunk anymore. Because anybody saw that Celtics game, he had a hell of a dunk. And he is a high flyer. But he had shown a little maturity this week. which I was hoping he would do after all his issues with the gun thing, the gunplay, the social media stuff, dude. You're not a gangster. That stuff drives me nuts when I watch athletes try to be thuggish, ruggish. I think it's embarrassing. Look, I love hip hop music. I kind of wear what I wear. I have my little swagger too. But when you're making hundreds of millions of dollars and you can risk losing that by trying to front and floss and think, I got to be like dudes in the music videos. I got to be like dudes on the corner. You ain't that, dude. Be a man. Be mature. Realize what you have and what you can lose. Ain't nothing wrong with being cool. You could be cool without flashing, without fronting. Put that all away. But Ja showed something this week. Some clarity. The best ability is availability. And he wants to be there for his teammates. He knows when he's in there, that's best for his team. The Grizzlies are 8-4 when Ja plays. They're number 3 in the West right now. So they see that they can get to the playoffs and do something. They've got a great team there. And I was looking up some of Ja's stats. Since 2020, some of his dunks. He had 49 dunks in 2020. 2021, 46. 2022, 58. 2023, 55. Last year, because of all the suspensions and everything going on, he only had 6. Excuse me. And this year, he was hurt for a little bit there, but he's only had 4. So his percentage of shots is trending down because he knows. And he's specified. He talked about it. When I go up in the air, guys are trying to foul me. I get hit. I come down. I can bounce up, but one of these times I'm not going to bounce up. I got to stay healthy for my team. And that is what you want to see out of a leader of your team. Self-recognition. I realize that I have to be better. I realize that I have to do what's best for my team. And what's best for my team is putting the ball in the basket, yes. But if I'm not on the court, I'm not scoring. Ja is one of those guys, again, my top 5. I would pay X amount of dollars to go watch him every time. I wish I lived a little closer to Memphis because if I did, he would be the reason I would go watch that team. He is excitement personified. You don't see high flyer talent like that anymore. We saw a lot of this, with Jordan and Dominique, some of the high flyers back in the day. Vince Carter. But Vince Carter, you saw that in his career as he got older, he wasn't flying as much. Sean Kemp is another one. Monster, dunks, flyer, but ended up getting a lot of injuries because of it. So Ja Morant, I applaud you for showing a little maturity and recognizing that you do have to be the leader of your team. That Grizzlies team can make some noise in the playoffs. They have a great squad there. But if you're not on the court, you're not going to make any noise. So it'd be interesting to see, again, if you watched that game. It was a huge win for the Grizz Saturday night against the Celtics. And it's because Ja. 32 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, so close to a triple-double. But that high-flying dunk he had, he said Porzingis was going to come in and block it. He kind of made a little bit of an excuse for it, tongue-in-cheek, because I know it's going to be hard for him to not want to just sky high and dunk it and fly out of the building. But the first step to those kind of epiphanies is acknowledgement. He's acknowledged that he needs to be on the court. And he acknowledged that high flying and flying in the air and somebody hitting me and falling on the ground is going to break my body down. So kudos to you, Ja. We're going to miss a lot of those dunks, but you know what? You drop 32, 35, whatever. It doesn't matter how you do it. Get it in the hole. Steph Curry, not a high flyer. Still exciting as hell to watch. Still a leader of his team. So you can do the same thing. So awesome job there, Ja. We'll do a little transition here. Again, salud. LeBron James. Been tough on you. He is one of the greatest players to ever play this game. He is winding down. 40th birthday is coming up here in a little bit. He's had 21 seasons in the NBA. That's a lot. For him to still be playing at the level he's playing is phenomenal. No other Hall of Fame player late in his career has played like LeBron James has been playing. The way he takes care of his body is an anomaly. He should not be doing what he's doing. I mean, you saw this with Jordan and his career. He could get you some points, but tapered off really quick. And that's one thing in the NBA. When you start falling off the cliff, you fall off cliff quickly. Well, LeBron James had a four-game streak where he missed 19 three-pointers in a row. And that was one of his worst streaks in his career. Now, it's one thing you have a bad shooting. You know, look, Steph Curry's had bad shooting woes. LeBron James is not known for his three-point shooting. But the Lakers aren't doing very well right now. They've lost 4 out of the last 5. They lost to the Hawks in overtime. That team needs a little bit more than LeBron James. Anthony Davis can get you 38 one night, can get you sitting on the bench with a bum knee the next night. Are we seeing the last year of LeBron James? I wonder if when you have 4-game streaks like this or streaks like this where people start asking questions on if you're done, if you've hit the cliff, you know, Kellerman and the cliff, the Brady cliff, the famous Brady cliff. Every athlete is going to face the cliff at some point in time. The only one undefeated in sports is Father Time. And yes, at some point in time, LeBron James will have to step away from the game of basketball. Are we getting close to that point? Is he going to start questioning whether he should be on the court? I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? I think LeBron James has this year in it. He may hang it up next year. He does a lot outside of basketball. His production company, philanthropic. He does his school. He does a lot of charity work. He does a lot of things other than basketball. He also loves his kids and his family and does a lot for them. And right now he's got a son in the G League who is struggling. So I wonder if LeBron's going to play this year and then start questioning what to do next year. Because his salary, you know, the team can go out and find another player. Be curious to see what Mr. LeBron James does. We'll keep an eye on that the rest of the season here. I hope he doesn't have any more shooting games or stretches like he's had, but he's averaging less than he ever has. He's at 23 points per game. This is his lowest average since his rookie season. Look, 21 years in it. Championships. All-time NBA leading scorer. You've done more than enough. You have exceeded all expectations. LeBron James has exceeded expectations more than you talk about the hype coming out of high school where someone could fall with all the noise, with all the temptation he had. You hear about those tales of guys that had all this talent and then succumb to temptation and all these other things and then fell short. LeBron James, I'll give it to you, my man. You're the greatest to exceed expectations coming out of high school with all the hype that followed you, with all the expectations. Well exceeded it. And kudos to you. If you hang it up next year, there's no fault, put you in the hall. Your legacy is cemented, period. But are you going to struggle through some games just to keep going? We'll check that out here. All right, guys. We'll do a little halftime here real quick. Need another sip. It's a little chilly out there tonight, so trying to warm it up here. All right. Little halftime here. Top 5. My favorite Christmas movies of all time. And we'll jump in these here. Number 5. And it is a Christmas movie. I don't care what you say. Die Hard. John McClane, Hans Gruber. Yippee-ki-yay. That's my 5. It's an awesome flick, and it is a Christmas movie. I don't care what you say. One of my favorite movies of all time, period. You can quote so many things from it. Entertaining every time you watch it. Great movie. That's number 5. Number 4, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And any of them. I like the Jim Carrey one. I like the kind of throwback Dr. Seuss original one. I like the Grinch, the newer cartoon version of them. Any of them. Anything with the Grinch in it. We all have those moments where Christmas kind of gets to us and we kind of want to be bah humbug. We want to be the Grinch. We're tired of it. It's busy. Work, life beats you up. You want to be the Grinch. You want to crawl in your hole and just kind of be away from everybody. Been there. But it's nice to dig yourself out and feel your heart again. So, number 4, The Grinch. Number 3, one of my all-time favorites and one of my all-time favorite actors, Bill Murray in Scrooged. This version of The Christmas Carol is hilarious. Bill Murray as the TV exec. It is a great, great movie. A spin on The Christmas Carol is one of my favorites. Funny. Bill Murray is awesome in it. One of my favorites. My top 3. So number 3, Scrooge. If you've never seen it, you're crazy. You got to go see it. You got to stream it. Something. Awesome movie. Number 2, not really Christmassy, but Christmas enough. Especially the soundtrack. Home Alone. I love it. My son loves it. He laughs every time. I think we've watched it 2 or 3 times already. And Christmas season has just started. Joe Pesci is hilarious in it. I can watch that all the time. It's one of those movies, again, just stands the test of time. You can watch it over and over again. It is hilarious. You know what's going to happen, yet you still laugh. You know he's going to get hit in the face with an iron. You still laugh. You know he's going to slide down the icy stairs. And you still laugh. It's great stuff. Kevin! Watch that forever. Number 2, Home Alone. And my number 1 favorite movie of all time, Charlie Brown Christmas. How can you not love the Charlie Brown tree? It's the antithesis of the meaning of Christmas. It's not presents. It's not what you get. It's the love in your heart with family and friends. It's the true meaning of Christmas and spreading that word to everybody you meet. The Charlie Brown Christmas does that. Fantastic. Love that movie, number 1. Some of my other all-time favorites, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I'm going to throw that one in there, even though it's not a movie. It's more of a TV special. But The Land of the Misfit Toys, I sometimes feel like a misfit toy. So one of my all-time favorites. Christmas Story, Elf, It's a Wonderful Life. Yes, throw those all in there too. Guys, I want to hear what your top 5 are. But again, Die Hard, The Grinch, Scrooged, Home Alone, and Charlie Brown. Top 5 Christmas movies of all time. Salute. All right, we're going to jump in here to end the show. Tuesday, Emirates Cup knockout round. East quarterfinals, you got Magic versus the Bucks. Magic hurting right now with no Franz Wagner. Bucks are hot right now. Giannis, hot right now. MVP consideration. Giannis Antetokounmpo. So I look for the Bucks to really take care of the Magic. It's a shame. I hope the Magic can bounce back from this. But you got Magic Bucks. I think that's going to be a great game on Tuesday. And then also Tuesday, you got the West quarterfinals. You got the Mavericks and Thunder. That's a fantastic game. You got the Thunder number 1 in the West against the Mavericks. Luka playing out of his mind. Again, you talk about a MVP candidate. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. These two teams heading off against each other in this Emirates Cup. That's going to be a fantastic game. So Tuesday night, guys, you got to watch those 2 games. Those are going to be phenomenal games. And then Wednesday, you got the Hawks versus the Knicks. Look, the Hawks are the Knicks' Achilles heel. Trae Young plays out of his mind every time he plays the damn New York Knicks, and it drives me nuts. Old baby hair himself, Ice Trae. But with the Knicks, with Karl Anthony Towns right now, they're playing really, really well. Bridges, Hart, let's go Knicks. We take care of the Hawks. I can see that, but Hawks coming after that emotional victory over the Los Angeles Lakers over the weekend. So I'm a little concerned about that, but let's go Knicks. We got a better defense than they do. So, and then West quarterfinals on Wednesday, Warriors Rockets. The Warriors relegating Draymond to the bench. Kuminga coming out and starting. Steve Kerr trying to make some moves here to see if he can spark his team, because Warriors are slipping in the West right now. Slipping. Rockets playing phenomenal. And then Saturday, you'll have the semifinals. So this is going to be a heck of a week here. Emirates Cup heating up. Christmas time, guys. I love it. Happy holidays to everybody. Again, 3 from Deep, Boom Broadcasting Network, YouTube channel. Guys, check us out. Give me a Christmas present this year. Like, subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. Share it to your friends. Have them share it. Spread the word. Get the word out there. We are a phenomenal podcast. We have everything that you want, everything you want to hear, whether it's wrestling, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, life, wrestling, everything. We got everything here. So I appreciate you guys. 3 from Deep, 12 p.m. Mondays. Check us out on the YouTube channel. This is Jason Colenso signing off, and I will see you next week. 3 from Deep, we out.